Have you ever woken up one day and looked in the mirror and looked at yourself and I'm different? It feels different. Life feels different. I don't feel the same anymore. And you're looking at yourself and it feels like you've entered a different stage, a different chapter. And now things don't feel the same. Your clothes don't feel right as you get dressed in the morning. They don't fit right, or the colors don't seem like you, or maybe they just seem like someone from 10 years ago, or maybe 20 years ago. And looking at yourself and this doesn't feel right, this doesn't feel the same anymore, and you're wondering what's next. I was a customs broker for about 8 years. I was a customs broker where a lot of my day-to-day was like sitting at a desk and running numbers and doing compliance and legal work, and very rigid, very numbers driven. A lot of my day-to-day was very rigid, very legal, very compliance, very check your numbers, make sure everything's in order, make sure you're in the timeline of legal limits of what you need to do. And then I decided it was no longer me. I decided that I didn't like it anymore. I never liked it, but I felt like I had to stay. So I stayed for 8 years. And then I decided I wanted to do something different with my life. I wanted to be a creative. I wanted to be an artist of sorts and a creator. I decided I wanted to leave the world of numbers and compliance and legal and start over and completely shift gears. I wanted to do something creative like wardrobe styling and fashion styling and reinvent myself in a way that I had never imagined myself. And part of that journey has involved me refreshing my style. Part of leaving that former career in legal compliance, customs brokerage work has been to something creative like styling and fashion and helping people refresh their style and reinvent their old image and refresh that new person through their style has been me learning to figure that out myself. I really didn't know who I was. I was lost and I didn't know. My style was very plain and very boring. It was very simple, basic. It was very office casual. Even in my off duty, it was maybe a funky piece here and there, but I really didn't have it put together. I was very all over the place for a while in my style, and it felt like that for a long time. And then I felt like my style was all over the place for a long time. I was really trying to figure out, I was lost, and I was trying to figure out who I was again. And it came out in my style because my style felt really awkward. It was very rigid. It was very simple. And now as a creative, I wanted to blossom. I wanted to be colorful. I wanted to be artistic. I wanted that side of me to finally come out and finally push through. I wanted that side to finally come out and finally blossom and shine. And part of that, going from rigid to creative, was like allowing myself to see what the possibilities were. And so as I've been exploring in the last few years what that new style has looked like, because I think in the very beginning when I shifted my work from customs brokerage to creative, my style was very all over the place. It was chaotic, it was loud, it was a little try hard, it was a little confusing, which is normal. And so now that I've settled into a lot more confidence, I'm feeling good about myself, I wanted to reevaluate, I wanted to explore what that new style would look like. And so going from a very rigid, plain, very office uniform kind of style to something more creative has been exploration. So one of the things I realized in the last few years that I wanted to do was to be more expressive. I wanted my clothes to be softer, relaxed, colorful, flowy, not so rigid, because as an artistic person, you're always changing, you're always morphing into something different. And you're always like creating, and so you're always in flow versus being a customs broker where it's very checks and balances and 16 days and very numbers and very rigid, lead driven. So as I started to explore this new style, I realized that I wanted things that were softer. As I settled into a more confident sense of self about my work as a stylist, as a creative, as an artist, I realized I wanted my style to be different. So I started to explore softer, feminine, flowy, things that were just artistically based and things that were more artistic and more fun versus rigid and uniform. So as I started to explore, I thought the best way to start exploring was to go to clothing swaps because it gives you a lot of room to try things and it gives you a lot of room to see what's out there without having to make a lot of big purchases right away. And I'm still in that exploration building phase in this new chapter of my work. I wanted to try something very feminine and flowy and fun. And so I went to a clothing swap recently and I saw this piece. You can see how it's these big florals and it's hard to see, but it's super flowy, very oversized. And I looked at it and was like, oh, I love the print is interesting, but it's very big. It's oversized, like a muumuu. And I looked at it and I was like, I don't know. It's really big. I don't know if I can make this work. I'm short. I'm like 5'1". I don't know if I can make this work. And I looked at it and I hesitated. I brought it home and it was just sitting on the rack in my possibilities pile. And I was like, you know what? I need to try it on. I need to give it a chance. Let's just see. I won't know if I like it until I try it. So I'm going to show you what I ended up doing with this one. I hesitated when I grabbed this because it was really oversized. And as a short person, the last thing you want to do is buy things that are oversized that overwhelm you. But I thought this was an interesting piece and this fit the description of being feminine and flowy and artistic and different. And so I thought this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to wear it. I'm going to grab it and then we'll just try it and we'll see. And I'll show you what I ended up doing when I styled it. So I'm going to take off the tank top. Oh, God. Let me see if I can put this camera view a little bit further. So hopefully you can see it a little bit better. I'm going to take off my clip. So you can see it's, oh, okay. I have to make a little bit of an adjustment because it's not buttoned in the back. And without it being buttoned in the back, it's less shaped. So buttoning it in the back, I had to do it from the front. They can't do it from the back and they'll just, one of the great things about a dress like this big and kind of roomy is it gives you room to twist it around. And so I just did that to get started. I just twisted it. It's cute, it's fun, and it's pretty oversized. Oh, this viewpoint is hard. I'm trying to step back a little bit. So this is the dress, and it's hard to see, I think. It's hard to see in this in the horizontal view. So maybe I'll shift to a vertical view super quickly. You can kind of see quickly that it's quite big and kind of flowy and oversized. I'm gonna flip it back. It's very wide, but I thought it was cool. It's not like it pops. I don't think the color really pops on my skin tone, but I wanted to try it out and just give it a chance. Because remember, I'm exploring, I'm trying. I don't have to get it perfect right off the bat, but I love the color. I didn't think that it popped on me like all that much, but I just love the feel of it. It felt really effortless and something I can just throw on. But it was a little oversized. So what did I do? I wanted to give it more shape. Is that you're experimenting, think about what's the best way to experiment is use what you have, not go out and buy new pieces. So when something is this big, I wanted to give it shape and structure. So it wasn't flowy and oversized. So I grabbed this chain belt that I got at a garage sale last year. And I totally love it. It's like offbeat, it's kind of funky. And all I did was just take the chain belt and I just pulled out a little bit so it looks more fitted. And that way it didn't look so oversized because without the belt, it falls almost to my knee. And I thought that I needed a little bit of shape. But I just thought this itself was not, still it didn't really feel like it popped. So, it's cold in San Francisco. So I just thought, let's make it really fun and let's add some layers to it. So I added that belt, right? This gold belt, as you can see. And then it's like, how else can I make it less like cruise resort beach? So I just added this denim jacket. I got this one at the thrift store. So I wanted a good solid basic. It's a classic. I love the style. It's a very classic 90s Abercrombie Fitch jacket, denim jacket. I got it for $7 at the thrift store. So I just threw it together and just thought, you know what, this looks way much cooler. And then I just made the sleeves more casual and the look is more interesting. I thought, let's just keep going. I wanted to make it dressy, but like not too dressy. And so I just grabbed these earrings, these gold plated earrings that I got from a friend. And then I thought, okay, it's very floral, it's very funky, but what if I added these earrings? And then it feels like more put together. It feels like less like cruise and beach and casual. So that's what I did. So I took this oversized like maxi dress and then I made it more fitted and everyday. So it's more casual versus beachy. And I gave it the more everyday sort of like artsy upscale feel with the earrings and the denim jacket and this gold belt. So I actually wore it to the art gallery. I thought, oh, I feel really good in this. It's not like my usual color and pattern, but I thought it was really fun and really different. And I felt like I was actually getting more, I felt like I was building my self-confidence this way. I was getting more confident. I was feeling like myself. I was feeling more at ease. And it gave me the courage to just go out and talk to people, introduce myself. And I even took a selfie of this outfit. I wore it with some black boots that night. I'll put the selfie in here. And I just thought it was really fun. I love the sort of casualness, but the upscale feel and dressiness of the earrings. And then adding this gold belt. This was my first stage from like rigid to feminine and flowy, just with a few simple changes. And so I wanted to encourage you that as you start to explore what this new chapter looks like for you, it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to go out and buy things. You have to just play. And it's like a jigsaw puzzle. It's like take a little bit of this, take a little bit of that, and let yourself have at it. I feel like a whole new side of you is blossoming when you let yourself shine on the outside as well as the inside.